Children. Welcome to the online classes. Children, we were discussing lesson number 10, force, work and energy. And this is part 5 of lesson number 10. In the previous sessions, we have discussed about force, about different types of forces, right? So, can you tell me the name of the force which always acts in the direction opposite to the direction of movement? Yes? Correct. The answer is friction. Friction always works in the direction opposite to the direction of movement. And it is very important in our day-to-day life, as whatever is moving will never stop without friction. Friction is very important as it allows us to walk on the road. It also helps us to write with the help of a pen or pencil on the paper. Children, we have also discussed about different other forces, right? Like gravitational force. What is gravitational force? The gravitational force, gravitation in general means attraction. But when it is exerted by the earth, we call it the gravitational pull of earth. Now, let us move on to our next topics. We were discussing lever, right? In the previous session, we discussed about lever. So, what is a lever? The arrangement of rod free to move around a fixed point is called lever. In the previous session, we have discussed about the lever. Now tell me, did you do your homework? Did you read the lesson I told you to read? Whatever we have finished in the previous session. I hope you have done that. Because to understand the lever and the types of lever, you need to understand very properly about the position of fulcrum, effort and load, right? In the previous session, we discussed about 3 types of lever. Today we are going to discuss about the 3 types of lever in detail with examples so that you can understand it properly. So in the first class lever, children, fulcrum is in the middle of load and effort. In the first class lever, fulcrum is in the middle of load and effort, right? In the second class lever, load is in the middle of fulcrum and effort. Repeat with me. In the second class lever, load is in the middle of fulcrum and effort. It is in between fulcrum and effort. In the third class lever, effort is between the fulcrum and the load. Now we have already discussed that the work that has to be done is called as load, and the force that you apply to do that work is called as effort. And fulcrum is a fixed point which helps in between and which is between the load and effort to perform the work. Now see, this is the picture showing first class, second class and third class lever. Here if you can see, in the first class lever, fulcrum is between load and effort. Okay, so as we have already discussed, in the first class lever, load, fulcrum and effort. So fulcrum is between load and effort. In the second class lever, and as we discussed, the example of first class lever is seesaw, scissors. We are going to discuss more about the examples in detail. Now in the second class lever, load is between the fulcrum and effort. Fulcrum, load and effort, and the example of second class lever is wheelbarrow, as you can see in the picture. Now in the third class lever, effort is between the load and fulcrum. See here, effort is in between the load and fulcrum. And the examples, as you can see in the picture, plus the broom, and we are going to learn few more examples so that you can understand easily. Now, first class lever. In this type of lever, fulcrum is placed between the effort and the load. First class lever, fulcrum is placed between the effort and the load. The examples of first class lever are scissors, weighing balance, seesaw, claw hammer, pliers, etc. Let us see the examples. See in this pictures, children, fulcrum. This is the fixed point or fulcrum. This is between the load, because here what has to be done, it will come here. The paper or whatever has to be cut, it will come here. So here will come load. This is fulcrum, and here the force that you apply is called effort. So in this, fulcrum comes between load and effort. Let us see more examples. Again, see here, children, fulcrum is in between the load and effort. So this is the example of, these are the examples of first class lever. Again, this claw hammer, this is also the example of first class lever. See the position of fulcrum, it is in between the, again it is between the load and effort. This is load. Load means the work that has to be done, and this is the force that you are applying, that is called as effort. So this is all about first class lever. Now, second class lever. In this type of lever, the fulcrum is at one end of the rod and effort is applied on the other end, and load is between fulcrum and effort. And the examples of second class lever are nail cutter, stapler, wheelbarrow, bottle opener, nut cracker, etc. Let us see the examples to make you understand more. See, children, this is fulcrum, this is the fixed point, and load is in between the fulcrum and effort. So this is the example of second class lever. Again, here is the load, this is effort, and wheels are the fulcrum. Okay. Again, this is the example, these are the examples of second class lever. So see here, this one we have already discussed. This is fulcrum, this is load and effort. So load is in the middle of fulcrum and effort in the second class lever. And the examples are wheelbarrow, bottle opener, paper cutters, etc. See here, this is load, here fulcrum, and this is effort. So in the second class lever, again here this is fulcrum, this one is load, and here is effort. So load comes between fulcrum, third class lever. In this type of lever, fulcrum is at one end of the lever and load is at another end of the lever, and effort is applied in between. Effort is applied between fulcrum and the load. The examples of third class lever are hammer, broom, tongs, tweezers, fishing rods, etc. Let us see the position of fulcrum, effort and load. See here effort, again here effort, here we apply effort, here it is effort. So this is fulcrum, This is load because the work done is called as load. So in this class of lever, effort is in the middle of fulcrum and load. See one more example. Again in this example, the effort is between the fulcrum and the load. Now fulcrum, here you can see it is a fixed point, right? Fixed point is called as fulcrum, and where we apply force it is called as effort, and the work that has to be done is called as load, right? So these are the examples of third class lever. So children, today we discussed about all the three types of levers in detail with their examples and along with the positions of fulcrum, effort and load. Now today's homework is you have to learn the examples of all the three types of levers along with the principle of all the three types of levers. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the session. Sai Ram.